Okay, so it's Sunday afternoon, and I had my tarot reading done. So I just shuffled and I pulled 10 cards. I laid the 10 of them out and she went to pick them up, and one of them kind of went flying, so she grabbed it. And she was like, oh, this one's jumping. This one must be important or whatever. So then she flipped it, and it was migration, which obviously, because I'm leaving London in a week and a half, was sort of, when she flipped it, I was like, holy migration. There was something about exposure. Gone to ground, it was. Gone to ground. Hiding and exposure. She flipped over another card, and I can't remember what it was, and she was like, oh, do you work in theater? Do you work in something theatrical? And I said, yeah. And she said, you haven't been getting the exposure that you want, keeping you from doing what you want to do, or trying to push you with being at odds with someone in a position of power. And we flipped over another card about money, and she said, don't worry, you need to stop worrying about money. Money is just a number. If we took the numbers out of your head that were what success is, then you'd probably be happier. And you wouldn't worry so much. So don't put things into the world like, I don't have enough money. I've been looking at my bank account, trying to figure out how much money I need to save. Start thinking things like abundance. We flipped over Blaze, which already shook me because of Blaze. And she was like, oh, this is about, you're worried about burning out, but don't worry about that. You've done it before. I can see that it's happened to you before, but it's not going to happen to you again. Don't go back to that place, which got me, because that's really It reminded me of Williams, just hitting that point at Williams where I was just like, I don't want to do anything. I think I'm kind of there again. We're like, I don't know, just being here and being with Guildhall makes me want to. And then she flipped over one more that was about a sense of home, when she sort of was like, this is somehow related to migration. Can you talk about that? And I was like, oh, well, I'm going home. And then she was like, oh, no, you said the word home. She's like, I think you need to restructure that, because home has changed. This card is saying it's changed. Don't go back there thinking that it's something. Oh, and home is where the bear is. That was totem object. And she said, I have a shawl. And I said, I have a bear. I think it's true. Blue Bear's gone everywhere with me since I was everywhere, even everywhere. And she flipped over another card, and she was like, oh, this is about pleasing people and wanting to be good, wanting to be good for everyone, solve everyone's doing problems. All the right things. I got the peacekeeper, trying to please everyone, that would make everyone happy. And she was like, you need to let go of that. But then she said, okay, so what's the unanswered question? And I said, intimacy or love. The first one was leaping. And she said, oh, so what you've done is you've leapt into something recently. We just talked about leaping, and she said, which is be more playful, find that energy, because that's you, not this person who's anxious and worried and sad. And that's true. And I think honestly I am, because I know in some ways. She said, you're so bored of moping, and I definitely I'm still covering it, because I'm still here. And being at Guildhall just makes me want to shove everything deep. So all deep. The parts of myself that I like, that I show to the people that I love, as soon as I'm in Guildhall, I just take them and I just lock them up, because I never felt so exploited and bullied. And I think I'm going to go home. I think I just need to get up and move. Migrate. All right, I'm going.